Introducing the brand new scoring clubs for 2022 from Ping. Let's do it, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson and welcome to this YouTube channel. Guys, in today's video we have the Ping Glide 4.0 wedges. Guys, I'm so excited to show you these. How good do these look? I think these look absolutely brilliant.
Excited. The scoring
They are the scoring clubs, aren't they? You look at Ping make fantastic drivers, amazing irons, but I think the wedges have always been a little bit understated.
Yeah.
Big fan of the Ping putters and also the Ping wedges. Guys, we're going to test these out today here at Waterfront Golf Club, and we have our short game specialist with us. Chris, what are your initial thoughts looking down at these Ping Glide 4.0s?
Well, we have got one of last year's model where we have got the dreaded 60.
I believe still a current one, it's just a different, that's a forged one.
A forged Pro.
£209 RRP that.
£209. Right, but you can see straight away this one for me looks a little bit better down at the ball, less rounded. Certainly something that's a little bit more pleasing to the eye for me, which is something that you've got to think about when you're thinking about your wedges. You want something that looks good down at the ground, don't you?
Yeah, for me there's also that little bit more perimeter weighting around of it. I'll throw one on screen now so you can see it. So we have that tungsten weighting in the back for the forgiveness. We're going to talk through the tech and the specs as we go through this video, but certainly more user friendly, I think, the Glide 4.0s.
Yes, and not as small, I know, definitely with the previous Ping wedges, very short blade length, which made it look like it was impossible to hit the centre.
Should we start around the green?
We shall.
Let's do it. So guys, we're going to kick things off today with the 56 degree. This is a W grind and it has 14 degrees of bounce. So you see we have quite a lot of camber on here. Now, we all know that grooves can only get so deep, so it can only generate so much spin, but Ping have actually put a textured face on here as well, just to try and generate that little bit more spin, so we can get more control. Let's see who can get closest here, Chris. This is a tight lie from the fairway, and the greens are quite quick as well. Need to generate some spin here to get this to stop. That's about as good as I can strike. Run out a little bit, but that was centre struck and I quite enjoyed it. One thing that Ping haven't done for me in the past is generate that nice soft feel. So they've actually used a softer steel now to try and generate that softer feel, so you're going to get more control and a better feel. What more could you want? What are your thoughts on this one, Chris?
Yeah, so it's something like you say, it's a softer feel. I think with a textured face though, I don't think that's revolutionary. I think there's other wedges that have had something similar on it before. So again, like James said, it's something that the grooves can only go so far. So to try and get a little bit more, that's it. But softer feel is something that they have searched for a long time. Oof, what a bounce. But again, they're not a bad strike at all, but it did run out probably 10-15 feet, so it's ran out quite a lot, whereas we'd like to think they would be able to get a little bit more spin, especially off this kind of lie. But obviously this kind of lie with this kind of bounce is going to be very hard. James is going to go to the trusty 60 now, a low bounce, and that's something we need to talk about in this kind of condition. Yeah, in these kind of conditions, even off of tighter lies, we want something with less bounce. It's going to be very hard to get a good contact with so much bounce.
Yeah, so we look at this. This is now a T grind. This only has 6 degrees of bounce. This isn't a lot of bounce at all. Ping do offer these in 4 different grinds. I'll put those on screen for you now, and that can pretty much cater to any kind of golfer to make sure these clubs suit your eye and your short game style. See, that felt a lot easier to nip and grab. Go on then.
So yeah, didn't run out anywhere near as much, landed probably past where the 56 did. It's then got a little bit of grip. It launched probably lower, even though it's more loft, but that's because he's got the correct bounce there, a better grind for these kind of conditions. So having more options there, but one thing you've got to do is make sure you get fitted.
Yeah, and I must admit, guys, I think the setup we have here to test, so we have the 50 degree in the S grind, so that's 12 degrees of bounce, 56 in the wide bounce here, so W, 14 degrees of bounce, that's loads of bounce, and then the 60 degree in the T grind, the 6 degree bounce. That's quite a nice array of clubs if you are thinking about which grinds to go for. I personally would recommend you do look at different bouncers. You don't have them all the same, so you have a bit more versatility in that bag. Let's go and try and find some more difficult shots, because they were obviously not difficult enough for us, Chris.
Oh no.
So guys, as you can see here, quite a difficult bunker shot. We don't have a lot of green to work with there, and there is a little bit of a slope there. So Chris, what club are you gravitating to for this kind of shot?
So I've gone 56. Again, this has got more bounce on it, so with a lot of sand in here, we want more bounce, because that's going to help us get through the sand. If you go something like the 60, it's going to have less bounce, more chance of it digging for the everyday golfer, and what that's going to do is end up you getting you to leave the ball still in the bunker potentially. So I'm going to go 56. Open that wide up, so I've got plenty of, I'm going to get plenty of height even. Nice and positive.
That's a lovely shot, just release.
Use the bounce. Released a little bit there. And not a steep divot, so it's glided through the sand more as opposed to digging. So James has got the...
I've got the 60 with not a lot of bounce here, and this just goes to show how important it is to make sure you do go for the right club, maybe even go for a fitting to look at what bounces to get. I'm going to go more aerial. And you can see there the club dug a little bit, not quite as good a finishing product as Chris's, but I'm going to take that all day out of this quite difficult bunker shot. You will see this Glide 4.0 does actually look like, to me, the Ping I210 iron. We do have an elastomer insert in the back there just to reduce vibration dampening and also give you a bit more of a responsive feel. So Ping definitely going to try and get a better feeling wedge. For me, Vokeys generally feel the best. Yeah, TaylorMade make a good feeling wedge, Callaway make a good feeling wedge. Ping are really trying to knock this out of the park now by making it not only more controllable, but also a better feel. Do you want to go first?
Right.
So this is a 50 degree, guys. This is an S grind. I believe it has 12 degrees of bounce on it. Not ideal for the burnt out fairway, but let's see who can get the closest.
No, but again, one big thing when you're getting, especially this kind of wedge, a 50 or a 48, you've got to be thinking of how it looks down at the ball. A lot of them have a sharp leading edge. This is nicely rounded, sits nicely behind the ball, and it does give you...
I think it looks absolutely perfect down at the ball. I've struggled to think of a better looking wedge actually behind the ball than that. It just looks like it'll blend into an iron set incredibly well.
Yeah, and that's it. So you're not going to think, oh, it's a wedge now, I need to change my technique. It just fits seamlessly in with a set.
Seamlessly. I'll put Marcel on screen now.
Marcel's on again. That was more me than the club, but again felt extremely soft, a reasonable strike, and again feels a lot better, a lot more like an iron as opposed to the old wedges that they used to feel like.
Yeah, it's got a lovely rounded leading edge on this. I'm going to try and play a bit of a draw in here, see if we can generate a little bit of spin. Just like that, that felt really good. So straight away there, Chris, it still feels a little bit firm for me. I think I'd prefer the feel of maybe a Vokey 50 degree there. Not a bad finishing shot, it stopped pretty much on a dime there. Yours just blocked out to the right. What are your thoughts on these wedges so far?
Yeah, I think they feel good. I don't think that one launched a little bit higher than what I'd expect to. I don't know if that's the design, if that's just me, or whether it is the club, but that's something that you got to test when you're hitting wedges. If you are comparing them, get out and see what ball flight you get consistently, because if you're going to get something that pops up a little bit more, you're not going to be as good with your distance control.
Yeah, interestingly, when I speak to people about wedges, they generally say, well, I match it to my iron set. If I've got Titleist irons, I'll get Vokey wedges. Ping irons, I'll go for Ping wedges. But I do think you can certainly find a set of wedges that might suit you a bit better. Let's see how much spin we can get from this semi-rough, little bump and run 50 degree. See, that felt really, really nice. Didn't quite check as I wanted it to, but rolled out nicely to about 4 feet. You going that one as well?
I will. I'll give you that one. Yeah, nice centered strike there from yourself. Again, on those ones there, that did feel a little bit firmer than what I'd expect to get from something like a Vokey. Again, around the edge of the green, is that going to be something you like? Is it going to be something that's going to take a lot of time to get used to? But I have to say the look of them is fantastic.
I think they look fantastic. They're not a forged club, so they're not going to batter up too much in your bag, which a lot of people do think about. And for me, there's so many options here. I've called this video Ping's new scoring clubs, and I truly mean that. I think if you get these in the right specs for you, maybe go and get a few short game lessons at the same time, it can definitely help revolutionise your game. I'll not say game changer because it upsets people too much.
It does, but yeah, it's something you need to get fitted for, because you think you will get fitted for your irons, fitted for a driver, and you could be swinging it like Zorro. But then down here, if we can just get a good strike and be consistent, it's a club that's going to help you lower your scores a lot easier.
Ping claim with these new textured faces we can generate even more spin and control, so let's hit some off a tight lie into the wind here and let's just see exactly how much we can get. So I'm going to try and land this halfway, little bit of spin. That one pulled up nice, didn't it?
Stopped very quick, that one.
A little bit of a bottom groover as well, so for me, that's what I'm definitely trying to do here. Just get it coming out low, lots of check. That's got to spin. Oh, must say, I'm quite impressed with this. This is a shot I would try and play. I know you'd probably talk me out of it, Christopher.
It's totally the wrong shot, but yeah, I mean, you played it well.
Okay, quite an impressive amount of spin there with these new Ping Glide 4.0 wedges. So guys, certainly improvement for me on the Glide 3.0s. Let's see if Ping can continue to improve their wedge setups, get them feeling even better and get them performing just as well as some of the other wedges on the market. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button if you've enjoyed it, and apart from that, I'll see you all at the same time tomorrow. Do not forget to check out our new Facebook page. We're uploading weekly on there now as well. Bye!